From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday said that the government is doing its best to ensure the safety of 17 Filipinos who were among those held hostage in the November 19th hijacking of a cargo vessel in the Red Sea. In a statement posted on his official X account, the president said, "The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, is in coordination with its counterparts in Iran, Oman, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia for updates." President Marcos added that the Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, is in regular communication with the families of the hostages. The DFA confirmed on Wednesday that the 17 Filipino seafarers were on board the cargo ship Galaxy Leader that was hijacked by Yemen's Houthi rebel group in the Red Sea. The Bahamas-flagged British-owned Galaxy Leader, with links to Israeli businessman Abraham Rami Ungar, is operated by a Japanese firm. The 17 Filipino nations were among the 25 Galaxy Leader crew members who were taken hostage by the rebel group. The other hostages are from Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine, and Mexico. Based on Associated Press reports, Yemen's Houthi rebels hijacked the vessel over its connection to Israel, and that all ships belonging to the Israeli enemy or that deal with it will become legitimate targets. The conflict between Israel and Hamas has entered its sixth week since the Palestinian group launched a cross-border attack on southern Israel on October 7th, and the latter responded with retaliatory strikes and ground assault in Gaza. The United States, which called for the immediate release of the ship and its crew, said it was considering designating Houthi rebels a terrorist organization following the incident.
Dateline Malacañang.
The European Union, or EU, has cited the willingness of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s administration to engage the international community on the issue of human rights in its latest report on the Generalized Scheme of Preferences, or GSP. The assessment was published in a staff working document that accompanied the November 21st European Commission and the High Representative of the Common Foreign and Security Policy Joint Report on GSP for the period of 2020 to 2022. It states that the new administration has shown willingness to engage with the international community on human rights, having actively participated in multiple mechanisms of the United Nations Human Rights Council, or UNHRC. It noted several positive steps taken by the government, including its new focus on prevention and rehabilitation in the campaign against drug and the visits of several UN Special Rapporteurs. The EU also noted some progress in the fight against child labor, especially on legislation against the online sexual exploitation of children and tackling trafficking in persons. Renewed engagement with the International Labor Organization, or ILO, including the high-level tripartite mission in January of 2023, is another positive development. In addition, the Philippines has made good progress on the implementation of all environmental and climate conventions. The EU further cited Manila's ratification of the Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol and plans to ratify the Basel Ban Amendment to the Basel Convention. The EU added that compliance with the UN Convention Against Corruption, or UNCAC, has also improved, and the government is taking strides towards e-government with the intention to reduce the risk of corruption in administrative procedures.
Dateline Malacañang.
European Union or EU Ambassador to the Philippines, Luc Veron, on Wednesday said that the Philippines and EU are nearly finished in their scoping talks for the potential negotiation on a free trade agreement or FTA. During the 2023 Pilipinas Conference in Makati, the envoy said the two nations are on track to finish the process by the end of the year. Veron said European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. had agreed to review first different chapters that would form part of the FTA and see whether we could potentially agree. Ambassador Veron said that when President von der Leyen came to the Philippines, she said there was an intent on the part of the European Commission to restart the negotiations on an FTA. The European Union delegation in Manila said at least 3 rounds of scoping talks have been convened since the announcement of FTA discussion in September.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday emphasized the importance of unity in mitigating the effects of global warming and climate change. In his pre-recorded video message during the opening of the 16th Annual Global Warming and Climate Change Consciousness Week, the President enjoined the Climate Change Commission, or CCC, to promote unity and cooperation for a more resilient and adaptable nation. President Marcos made the call as he expressed hope to reach his goal of having a new Philippines that is strong in trials, peaceful and safe for the people, and full of hope for a good future. The chief executive said that in support of our planet, we must be involved in creating solutions to mitigate the effects of global warming and climate change. Under Proclamation number 1667 issued on November 18, 2008, the Global Warming and Climate Change Consciousness Week is celebrated every November 19th to the 25th. In adherence to this proclamation, the CCC organizes a series of activities aimed at raising awareness and fostering collaboration among various stakeholders. The 16th Annual Climate Change Consciousness Week underscores the importance of community collaboration and collective action to address climate change. This year's theme for the week-long commemoration, Bayanihan para sa Klima, Bagong Bansang Matatag, is anchored on President Marcos's vision of a low-carbon economy and climate-resilient country. The opening ceremony for the 16th Annual Global Warming and Climate Change Consciousness Week was graced by representatives of national government agencies, development partners, and civil society organizations. In observance of the week-long event, the art exhibit, Stories of Resilience, opened with a collection of photographs and poetry capturing the resilience, hope, and inspiration of Filipinos in the face of climate change and disasters.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri on Wednesday confirmed that the situation in the West Philippine Sea, or WPS, is among the issues to be discussed in the 31st Asia-Pacific Parliamentary Forum, or APPF 31, to be hosted by the Philippines from November 23rd to the 25th. But Zubiri clarified that the Philippines, as a good host, will be diplomatic in its approach during discussions. He said the APPF 31 would focus on discussions related to political and security matters, economic and trade, regional cooperation in the Asia-Pacific region, and special discussions among women and young parliamentarians. The APPF is a multilateral parliamentary forum between 28 member countries in the Asia-Pacific region, covering Southeast Asia, Oceania, North Asia, and the Americas, where parliamentarians come together to discuss and form agreements over shared concerns and interests in the region. The Senate President also warned motorists to brace for heavy traffic near the Philippine International Convention Center, or PICC, in Pasay City, the Bonifacio Global City in Taguig, and Makati City. He said they are expecting around 300 foreign delegates from 28 member countries to attend the event.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, announced that 42 overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs, who were trapped in the midst of a fight between Israeli forces and the militant group Hamas will arrive in the country on Thursday afternoon. According to the DMW, the returning Filipinos will be on board Etihad Airways flight EY424 that will land at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3. The DMW said that the OFWs are comprised of 30 hotel workers and 12 caregivers, including 5 children. This is the 9th batch of OFWs that chose to go home following the tensions in Israel as well as the Gaza Strip. On Wednesday evening, 8 OFWs from Lebanon formed the 8th batch of Filipinos who returned to the country due to the tensions between Israel and the militant group Hezbollah.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines House of Representatives on Wednesday approved on third and final reading a measure that would promote safe nuclear energy use with the creation of the Philippine Atomic Energy Regulatory Authority, or PhilATOM. During the plenary session, a total of 200 lawmakers voted to approve House Bill, or HB number 9293, or the proposed Philippine National Nuclear Energy Safety Act, which provides for a comprehensive legal framework for nuclear safety, security, and safeguards in the peaceful utilization of nuclear energy in the country. 7 lawmakers voted against the measure while 2 abstained. Speaker Martin Romualdez said the PhilATOM shall have the sole and exclusive jurisdiction to exercise regulatory control for the peaceful, safe, and secure uses of nuclear energy and radiation sources in the Philippines. Special Committee on Nuclear Energy Chairperson and Pangasinan Representative Mark Cojuangco sponsored the measure and stressed that the need for the establishment of an independent regulatory body so that regulatory judgments can be made and enforcement actions would be taken without pressure from interests that might conflict with safety. Cojuangco said the proposed law would help facilitate the country's economic development, as well as the proper utilization of nuclear energy, resulting in cost-effective, dependable, and clean electricity. When enacted into law, he said, the country would be able to comply with the international obligations about the utilization of nuclear energy as recommended by the IAEA. The proposed PhilAtOm will assume all regulatory tasks currently held by the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute. Among PhilAtOm's functions and responsibilities is assisting the government in developing national policies and measures for controlling regulated activities and facilities. A radioactive waste management fund shall also be established for the final disposition of spent nuclear fuel, as well as a decommissioning fund as a condition of authorization to operate a nuclear power plant, both to be held in trust by the Development Bank of the Philippines.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, we would like to invite everyone to come and visit our Facebook page at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.